and good morning everyone. I'm coming to you live from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Today we have a special guest, Henrietta Lax. She is the donor of the famous HeLa cells that have so magnificently transformed medicine. Mrs. Lax, it's truly an honor to meet you. So Henrietta, after you were diagnosed with cancer and was taken to Johns Hopkins Hospital for treatment, what happened that was so significant?
Well, while I was unconscious and waiting for the procedure on my tumors to begin, Dr. Lawrence Wharton Jr. collected 2 dome-sized tissue samples from my cervix. No one had told me that Tilinde was collecting samples, and no one asked if I wanted to be a donor. They just took my cells.
So you never knew that the doctor retrieved your tissue samples?
No! I knew nothing about my cells growing in some laboratory. I just left the hospital and went back to life as usual.
Did you ever question what the doctors told you concerning your health? I know at one point they said you were fine and told you to go home even though you were in a lot of pain.
No, them doctors knew best, and who am I to question that? I don't know what you folks do, but in the 1950s, a person always deferred to anything a doctor said.
So you never considered that a doctor would withhold information from you?
Of course not. As a black woman, I was just glad to be getting treatment at all.
Well, going back to your cells, do you think it would have made a difference if the doctor had asked for your consent before taking the samples?
You know, even though I'm mad that you took my cells without consent and didn't even offer my family compensation or even health insurance, I'm glad that I helped improve medicine.
So how do you feel about your immortal cells?
I'm glad my pain come to some good for someone. I'm happy to know that my life and years of agony were not pointless.
What do you wish had been different?
I just wish that my family had benefited from all this scientific nonsense. I loved my babies. I wanted a better life for them. It's sad that my cells have made so much money and my family lives in poverty.
Thank you so much for your time, Henrietta. You are truly an incredible woman. Folks, let's give a round of applause to the donor of the world's famous HeLa cells. We have one more interview for today, the youngest son of Henrietta Lax. Formerly known as Joe, he now goes by the name Zakaria. Welcome, Zakaria, and thank you for being willing to come today, as I know you don't like talking about your mother or her cells. So tell me, how did you feel when you found out about your mother's immortal cells?
I became angry. More angry than anyone else in my family. All I wanted was revenge for everything my family had lost and endured. Those doctors had raped her cells.
So how did you feel about the doctors who took samples of your mother's cells?
What them doctors did was wrong. They lied to us for 25 years, kept them cells from us. Then they gonna say them things donated by our mother? Them cells was stolen. I hope George Gay burns in hell. If he wasn't dead already, I'd take a black pitchfork and stick it up his ass.
Okay. What is the worst part about the doctor's use of your mother's cells?
One of the most violating parts of the whole thing is that you don't lie and clone people behind their backs.
What role do you think God plays in all this?
People say maybe taking them cells, making them live forever to create medicines was what God wanted. But I don't think so. If he wanted to provide a disease cure, he'd provide a cure of his own. It's not a man to tamper with.
What do you think are the results of HeLa cells?
Well, the doctors say her cells are so important and did all this to help people, but it didn't do no good for her, and it didn't do no good for us. If me and my sister need something, we can't even go see a doctor because we can't afford it. Only people who can get them any good from my mother's cells is the people that got money, and whoever's selling them cells, they get rich off our mother and we get nothing. All those damn people didn't deserve her help as far as I'm concerned.
Well, thank you for your time, Zakaria, and thank you for your honesty. And that concludes our interviews for today.